A 43-point first quarter by the Los Angeles Lakers tonight. They are one win away from eliminating Portland. What an efficient machine LeBron turned out to be tonight, Mike.
Yeah, a little different team we've seen the last 3 games versus the first game when Dame Lillard went off. But how did he get that way and what happened in Game 4? I've got a shot sheet here. It's kind of like the Academy Awards, Emmys. I haven't seen it yet, so let's see what happens. Right. I know that's LeBron James. Paying tribute, of course, to Kobe Bryant. They got the special Mamba jerseys, Kobe Bryant Day, 8-2-4. LeBron trying to set a tone early. Look at that, 7-0 lead, and you pull up from there. And just like that, Lakers hit the Blazers in a forehead with a 10-0 run to start the game. Anthony Davis, how about them Wildcats? How about that turnaround? How do you defend that? It's kind of hard for anybody, including Hassan Whiteside, and you get the foul.
These are tough shots.
Lakers trying to remind everybody why a lot of people thought they should be the favorite to win the championship. Good D there by AD, up to LeBron. That's too easy. It's 22-6 halfway through the first quarter. Lakers start the game on a 24-8 run because they weren't finished. KCP and 1. Chris Paul tweets out his feelings about the Lakers run, saying, "Bean is always watching. Miss you, my brother." 8-24, 24-8 run, 8-24. Come on, Kobe's all over everything right now. James, or LeBron as they call him, with the block there, starts it the other way. But look, he's been hounding dudes like that since he came out of Akron when he was 18, looking like he was 28. Grown man strength. Oh, come on, grown man moves. Stop it, LeBron. You're too old to be showing out like that. Blazers, no match for LeBron. The Lakers, not anybody. Give it to him. He's like, yo, we're in the same league, but we do not ball the same. 22.7 assists in the first half for LeBron. The Lakers led it by 29. Start of the third quarter. AD would play a few minutes and then just leave the game. Back spasms. Yeah, I wouldn't have played in this game either at that point. Oh, goodness. Is that 36 feet? Yes, it is, LeBron says. I mean, remember when Dame pulled up from the logo a few nights ago? LeBron does the same thing. What could Dame do to try to get his team back in it? Little knee pain there. Landed a little awkwardly. Of course, he had the dislocated finger on the left hand. He would not return to the game. And from that point forward, no real hope for the Blazers coming back in this game. Kuzma set up by LeBron. Lakers ball out on Kobe Day. 135, 115. LeBron goes for 36 and 10. And look over the last 3 postseason, guys with 30 and 10 through 3 quarters. LeBron has 3. No one else in the league has done that over the last 3 seasons, but LeBron has. Solid effort. Game 4, about to put this thing away, so we bring in Tim Legler to kind of give us some more perspective on what's happened in this series, this game, and also going forward. And you got to give it up. We showed the run offensively, but the defense really sparked that run for the Lakers. How?
Yeah, Mike, I think it's maybe the most understated element of the entire bubble is how good the Lakers can be defensively, maybe of the entire season, really, because they're so good offensively with LeBron and AD. You don't really see what they're doing on the other end. Their length just completely disrupted anything Portland wanted to run offensively. Just look at the amount of pressure they extend out, the way they close out on shooters. They converge on the lane, but they still make it back out to make sure you got a hand up on all shooters. This is one of my favorite ones right here. Look at the amount of ground they cover. You get 3 guys reacting to penetration. Look at AD close out. That's TJ McCollum. There is no daylight there. Makes a pretty sharp skip pass to the corner. Look at Kyle Kuzma close out, hands up. Damian Lillard can't have any space in the corner, ends up settling for a fadeaway lean back jumper. To me, that was a good sample of what the Portland Trail Blazers were looking at the entire first half. The Lakers tonight, I think, may have played the best game I have seen any team play since this thing started on both ends of the floor because they were making threes. They were aggressive going to the hole. LeBron was obviously very, very energized, but then their defense on top of it. This is about as clean a game as you can possibly play. It was Portland's worst nightmare.
Yeah, it's a cliche that defense wins championships, but it's also big facts, and this is a good example of how well the Lakers can play it when they're dialed in. But let's go back to LeBron. I mean, look, we've been on this man since he was 18 years old. He's exceeded every expectation that was placed on him. And this long in the league, Tim, he's still capable of doing what he did tonight. How is he able to do this at this age?
Yeah, you would think by now we would stop watching LeBron and be surprised.
Right?
At what we're seeing. But I still am when I watch him, because I think if you showed a clip from LeBron when he was about 24 or 25 years old, it wouldn't have looked much different than it did tonight, except he's a much more refined shooter than he was earlier in his career. But as far as the energy, the power, the strength, the speed, all of those things look exactly like they did when he was in his mid-20s. He gets into these places some nights offensively where he is so comfortable shooting the basketball that now really there is no answer. You know, you talk about it, take away those rim points and those free throws, the way he gutted them in Game 3. Yeah, you do that, now he's walking into three-point shots. But tonight, I just thought his speed up the floor and the power he was playing with. You have guys on Portland, they're not small guys that are trying to guard him, are just bouncing off of his shoulders. He's a marvel. He's a medical and physical marvel. He defies physics in a lot of ways, and I was just really in awe watching him tonight, thinking how deep he is into his career, all of those deep postseason runs, and he still looks like that with that kind of energy.
And just the thought that he could potentially lead 3 different NBA teams to a championship, what a legacy that would be for LeBron if the Lakers can make it happen. We're going to hear from him and some of the other players for LA coming up a little.
I'm just following the game plan. You know, as much as those guys make tough shots, you still have to try to make them take tough shots. You know, you can't pressure them because they live under the pressure. They succeed under the pressure. They thrive under the pressure. But you can't have breakdowns. And when you have a defensive strategy, you have to execute that defensive strategy for 48 minutes or for the minutes that they're on the floor. And I think we did a great job of that tonight.
What did you see as the biggest difference in AD from game 1 to game 2, and how did you try to help facilitate that starting that first quarter?
He was just aggressive, you know, from the beginning of the game. You know, wasn't passive at all. Looked for his shots. Even some of that he missed early, he continued to look for his shot, and he did a great job of offensive rebounding as well, getting some putbacks in that fashion.
Yeah, LeBron and Steve, how does your guys' defensive effort help this team score on the other end?
Well, that's been one of our staples all year. Our defense always fuels our break, fuels our offense. When we're able to get multiple stops in a row, we can get out and run our lanes, run our patterns, and we can either get you know, guys flying down the paint for dunks and lobs and layups, or our shooters can get going from the perimeter, which was the case tonight.
Allie? All right, we're going to start with Kyle Goon.
LeBron, obviously Portland has had a really good run in the bubble, and that game 1 they had a lot of spirit. And how important was it for you guys to just kind of crush them a little bit and demoralize them?
No, it was just one game, and we wanted to execute about 48 minutes, and we felt like we did a decent job of executing the first game, besides the opening minutes of the first 6 minutes of the first quarter, and then the last 6 minutes of the fourth quarter. And that's when they took advantage of us. So we knew we had to not have as many defensive laps, not many breakdowns coming into this game, no matter the score, which would give us a better chance of winning the game.
Tanya Ganguly.
I know that it's just one game and you've been through this enough times that you know to keep things in perspective a little bit, but this was the best your offense has done in the bubble. And I wonder, do you think that was important to be able to have a game like this and kind of get through that?
Well, it's always great to see the ball go through the rim, but more importantly, to defend. And I think sometimes your defense energizes your offense. But from the beginning of the game, it was great to see KCP have no conscience about his shot, get it going from the outside. JaVale did an unbelievable job getting offensive rebounds, second chance points. And everyone who came into the game just gave us energy and effort. And you know, trickled down to everybody that played tonight.
Brian?
LeBron, I saw Akron on your mask there. Did you have any concern yesterday when the president urged people to boycott Goodyear, what that could mean in the community? Obviously, a lot of jobs and things back home there.
Nah, I know my people of Akron, and I know what Goodyear means to our city. So, you know, one thing about us is we don't bend and we don't fold and we don't break for nobody. So I'm not worried about that. Not only has Goodyear been great for my city, for the history of my city, but for the country and what they've represented. It's an unbelievable brand, unbelievable history. So we stand strong and we always unite, especially in my city. We've always felt like we've been counted out, you know, being a small city, and that's what rallies us even more and makes us even stronger. So shout out, salute to all the workers, men and women at Goodyear over the course of their history, and to the city of Akron.
Chris Mannix.
Ron, when the perimeter shooting struggles the way it did, you know, in the restart and in game one, how confident are you coming in that if you keep making the same plays and keep getting those guys the ball, those shots will eventually fall?
Because I'm confident when it comes to work ethic, and then when you put in the work, the results will happen. If you didn't put in the work, that's when you get worried. And our shooters and our guys put in the work every day on their shot, and you know, repetition. You know, when you have repetition, you have results. So never a doubt in my mind. And we still didn't shoot the ball extremely well tonight. We had some go in, but you know, I feel like we're going to get it going at some point where everyone is shooting it in. So, but guys are repping, guys are working, so there's nothing to worry about.
Taylor?
Hey, LeBron, there is a video of you saying we're built different in the middle of the game. So what are you guys made of? I mean, in your opinion, what makes you different from the rest of the league? What separates you from the rest of the league?
I really don't compare us to anybody in the league. It's not what everybody else does. It's not what the time everyone's put in. I just know what type of season we've had this year. It's been 3 or 4 seasons in one. We've had a lot of. I mean, it started from training camp to preseason, you know, traveling abroad, to entering the new year with the tragic death, obviously, of Kobe and those victims on that helicopter, to the stop of the season, to, you know, players getting injured, you know, Rondo going down for a big piece of the year, you know, to the restart, not having our brother Avery Bradley here. And so on and so on. I don't even know it's a season, so I know what we're capable of. I know how we're built, and I don't compare us to anyone. I compare us to us, and you know, I direct that to every one of our players, because it's not about what everybody else is doing. It's about our mindset.
Okay, back to Tanisha. I think you have the last couple. A few.
Yeah, just 2 more. Bill Worm.
Hey, LeBron. There's a debate that gets made about whether or not AD is the best teammate you've ever had. I don't expect you to answer that, but for you to have a guy who can carry the load the way he did tonight, where you play sub 30 minutes, only need to score 10 points, and you guys lead by 30 pretty much in the second half. One, would you have ever believed that would be possible? And two, just what kind of asset is that for this team moving forward?
I've had some great teammates in my career. AD is one of those unicorns, and he does things that some of my other great teammates are not capable of doing. But in the same sense, I've played with Dwayne Wade, and he could do some things that, you know, the AD is not capable of doing. And I also played with Kyrie Irving. He can do some things that D Wade and AD is not capable of doing. So I've had the luxury of playing with some great players, and that's just 3 of them. But, you know, in the presence, you know, to be able to go out and, you know, orchestrate the offense, orchestrate the tempo, and get it to the hot man, get it to AD, and let us run our offense through him is a luxury for myself, is a luxury for our team. You know, I play no pressure basketball. I get opportunities to get shots. I get an opportunity to get lanes. I take advantage of them. Tonight didn't cause for me to do much offensively or force much, because not only AD had it going, but we had our shooters going as well, and our bench came in and just gave us a huge lift. So, you know, every game has its own challenges, and tonight, you know, AD was magnificent, and KCP was amazing as well.
Last question, Melissa.
When guys are making three-pointers, how much does it change the offensive flow, just open things up and change the rhythm for everybody on the court?
Well, you just said it. Three-point shot is a big-time shot in our league. We've known that. Obviously, the numbers have went up over the last 10 years, but it's always been a great, shot.